Hello students, in today's video we will learn about an interesting topic in geography. The topic is on globe. So what is globe? Globe is nothing but a representation of planet Earth. So today we will see the characteristic features of planet Earth. Okay, now we will learn about the directions. So there are four directions. As you may know, they are north, south, east and west. We all will know that the sun rises in the east and the sun will set in the west. So when we stand facing the sun, that is the east, and the west is towards our backside, and our left hand shows the north side and right hand shows the south side. So front is east, back is west, left hand is north and right hand is south. Next we will see about globe. See, like I told you before, globe is the representation of Earth. So we know that Earth is the third planet that is from the sun, and the shape of the Earth is a three-dimensional model. The Earth is actually spherical. Spherical means a sphere. It is flat at the poles and it bulges at the equator. So the shape of the Earth is called as geode. We cannot say it is circle or it is a sphere, but the shape of the Earth is called as geode. Now we will see how the Earth revolves around the sun. So the Earth rotates the sun from west to east at an angle of 23.5 degrees. So you can see this line here that the Earth rotates around the sun. So this line is called the axis. This axis is not actually present, but it is an imaginary line. So let's see a fact. The surface area of the Earth is 510.1 million square kilometers. So that means the Earth is such a big planet. It covers 510.1 million square kilometers. So we will see about another fact. The first globe was created by the Greeks in the year 150 AD. And an astronomer from India. Who is he? Aryabhatta 1, as mentioned in his book. So what has Aryabhatta said in his book? He has said that the stars in the sky seem to move towards the west because of the Earth's rotation on its axis. So Aryabhatta, the Indian astronomer, has told that the Earth moves from west because of its axis. So now we will learn about latitudes. So the Earth has latitudes and longitudes. So latitudes are the horizontal lines on the globe and longitudes are the vertical lines on the globe. So the horizontal line is the red line, which is the sleeping line, and longitude is the vertical line, which is the green line. Can you see here? Okay. So the line in the middle, the 0-degree line of latitude, it divides the Earth into two halves, and that line is called the equator. You can see here, equator. The middle, the red line is called as equator, and the green line, the longitude, is called as the prime meridian. So from the equator to the north pole, which is on top, it is called as northern latitude, and from the equator to the point at the bottom, it is called as south pole. It is the southern latitude. So totally there are 181 parallels found on Earth. It means there are, just like the equator line, there are 181 lines found on the globe. So on the northern hemisphere, there are 89 lines or parallels, and southern hemisphere there are 89 lines. Then there are two poles, that is north pole and south pole, and the equator. So totally there are 181 parallels found on. So let us see a fact here. The equator is the longest of all lines of latitude and it is known as the Great Circle. So the equator, the line in the middle, It is the longest line because it goes all around the Earth's surface, and that is why it is called as the Great Circle. Next is about hemispheres. So the Earth is divided into two halves, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So the topmost point is where the North Pole is, and the bottommost point is where the South Pole is present. So in the middle we have the equator, right? So from the middle to the topmost point, North Pole, it is the northern hemisphere, and from the middle to the South Pole, it is called as the southern hemisphere. So top is northern hemisphere and bottom is southern hemisphere. Okay. So now, will you be able to tell me where is India located? Which hemisphere? Northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere? So if you look here carefully, you can see the yellow portion, that is where India is located. So India is clearly in the northern hemisphere. Now we will learn about the important lines of latitude. So as we learned before, latitude means the horizontal lines, that is the sleeping lines that are all over the globe. Starting from the topmost at the North Pole is called as the Arctic Circle. The next one is Tropic of Cancer. Then in the middle, we already know it is Equator. Next is Tropic of Capricorn. And last, at the bottom near South Pole, it is the Antarctic Circle. So the sun's rays will not always fall equally in all the places of the earth. Only in the middle it will go straightly. The equator region, the sun's rays will fall straightly, and the other places the sun's rays will fall slanting. So the topmost place, which is the Arctic Circle, and the bottommost place, which is the Antarctic Circle, the sun's rays will go slanting, so it won't be sunny there. That is why the place is always frozen. Then next we have temperate zone. The sun's rays will fall moderately here, so they will receive a little bit of sun, and the sun's rays will go directly in the middle. That is called as the torrid zone. As you can see here in this picture, India is in the torrid zone. That is why India is one of the most hottest countries in the world. So what are the names of the important lines in the globe called in Tamil? We will see that. So latitude is called as Agalangu. Longitude is Nettangu. Equator is called as Nilanaduvare. Tropic of Cancer is Kadagavare, and Tropic of Capricorn is Magaravare. Next comes longitudes. So longitudes are the vertical imaginary lines that are connecting from North Pole to South Pole, and these lines of longitudes are semicircles. Okay, so the 0-degree line of longitude, the middle line, is called as prime meridian. So totally there are 180 lines of longitude in east and 180 lines in west. Totally there are 360 lines of longitude. So we can see here the line in the middle, the vertical line is the prime meridian. Okay. Then on the left side, left is the west, right? And on the right we have east. Okay. So this is the 180-degree west. So from prime meridian to west it is the eastern longitude. Then from prime meridian to the east is called as the eastern longitudes. The lines of longitude are found as semicircles. They are not straight lines, and they cover 111 km at the equator, 79 km at 45-degree latitude, and there is no space between the lines at the poles. Okay, so we will see about eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Like we saw before, from the middle, which is the prime meridian, to the right side point 180-degree east. So this entire portion is the eastern hemisphere. So the right side is eastern hemisphere, and the left side portion is the western hemisphere. That is 0-degree middle to 180-degree west is fully the western hemisphere. Now you should be able to tell where is India located. Is it in the eastern hemisphere or western hemisphere? So if you look clearly in the picture, you can see India here in blue color. So which means India is in the eastern hemisphere in terms of longitude, but in latitude we saw previously India was in the northern hemisphere. Now we will see the important lines of longitude. First one is the Greenwich meridian. So this Greenwich meridian or prime meridian, it passes through one place in London. Okay, the name of the place is called as Greenwich. That is how the name Greenwich meridian came. Now we'll learn about the international dateline. The 180-degree longitude has been fixed as the international dateline. It is drawn on the Pacific Ocean between Alaska and Russia. So if a person crosses this line from west to east, okay, from left side to right side, he will lose one day. But when he crosses this line from east to west, that is right side to west side, he will gain a day. So let us see another fact. The international date line is not straight. So as you can see in this picture, the date line is not in a straight manner, but it is in a zigzag way. Zigzag means it is in an uneven way. Why? Because if it is drawn in a straight line, the two places of the same country will have different dates. So to avoid the confusion, it is drawn in a zigzag manner. Next we will learn about standard time. So the local time is calculated when the sun is overhead. So when you stand under the sun and if the sun is exactly over your head, that means it is 12 noon or 12 p.m. So there are many lines that will pass through the country. So different countries will have different time. So to find the standard time, they use the meridian as a standard one. Okay, next you will see about the Indian Standard Time. So totally there are 29 longitude lines that pass through India. So we will only observe the 82.5 east line, the line of longitude, and that is observed as the prime meridian, and that line is used to calculate the Indian Standard Time, the IST. So here is another fact, that 82-degree line, that is the prime meridian, that line passes through a place called Mirzapur near Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. So this place is located at an equal distance from Gwar Mota in Gujarat and Kibitu in Arunachal Pradesh. So hope you have understood about the topic globe. Thank you.